Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Joshua Yoder Show. I'm your host, Joshua Yoder, and today we get to talk about one of my favorite people and really an inspiration to why I like martial arts, the late, great Chuck Norris. And joining me today for this little tribute episode is someone that watches a lot of the Chuck Norris stuff with me. He is my identical twin, Chad Yoder. Welcome back, my twin.
Thank you for having me back, my twin, and greeting my fellow life forms.
Now, thank you coming again. As least as time as we have, it's been a few weeks now since Chuck Norris passed away, and it's a sad day. It was a sad day indeed when we found out about his untimely death, huh, my twin?
Yes, I always, as soon as I heard about it, all the people were saying like he didn't, or made comments saying he didn't die. He just went up to beat the crap out of death.
Yes, I knew that one was coming. As soon as he passed away, I was like, it's only a matter of time before the internet memes start showing up, and sure enough.
Yeah, I know. Like I've already heard someone make comments says death. Chuck Norris didn't die. Death, just Chuck Norris.
Oh, yes, I love it. Good old Chuck Norris. But before we get into our little tribute episode of Chuck, I guess it's appropriate to say why we are big fans of Chuck Norris. And really, for me personally, much like Chuck Norris, like Ninja Turtles, Bruce Lee, of course, the Power Rangers, martial arts has been a big factor in our lives. I mean, unfortunately, we don't really have martial arts stuff around here where we live, but we became big fans of martial arts and what it was about, in large part because of guys like Chuck Norris. And to be honest with you, I kind of wish I would be like some of the people in his movies, the big, strong guy, try to, deliver justice and protect those in need, That's the kind of thing Chuck kind of inspired me to be like, and of course it's kind of hard to do, especially when you have scoliosis, cerebral palsy, but nonetheless, a guy can dream. And Chuck Norris was a big inspiration for me. Is it safe to say the same for you, my twin?
Oh yes, I always thought like he was such an amazing like person. Like even though I never got the chance to meet him, he had such a great martial arts talent and like his every of his movies and stories that he's done always had meaning behind it, and it was very inspirational for like anybody from anywhere. Like it was, I just enjoyed his stuff so much. It was very inspirational, and I can honestly say, I have a shadow of a doubt, he will be missed.
No, amen to that. He was a good man, and honestly, and a lot of his stuff, to me, in my humble opinion, still adds up even to this very day.
Oh yes,
But we'll get to that in a moment, my twin. But here's some cool stuff that I've learned about one Chuck Norris.
all right.
The man for 6 years straight was the professional middleweight karate champion, excuse me.
Oh sweet, that's amazing. 6 years.
Absolutely. It's an incredible run. And as a legit martial artist, a lot of people often wonder that. And this was after he served in the United States Air Force, of course.
Yes.
But yeah, no, for 6 straight years, he was a karate champion. And of course, became good friends with Bruce Lee. And as they say, the rest is history, as both men are incredibly talented martial artists.
Oh yes, dude. His fight scene with him and Bruce was amazing. To this day, people still talk about it.
Oh, without question, it's an amazing fight scene. And honestly, those two guys are true martial artists, and their movies are absolutely amazing.
Oh yes, that's I can name you a few list of Chuck Norris movies I've seen and rewatched over the years.
Yeah, and check out Chuck Norris's overall record, my twin. It says here after officially retiring in 1974 from competition, I should say, he continued to train martial arts afterwards. He had a combined record of 183 wins, 10 losses, and 2 draws.
Dang, that's an incredible feat.
Indeed, indeed, it is. It's not that easy, in martial arts. Karate is no joke, I will say. It's definitely fun to watch. Of course, me being a fan of boxing and MMA, I've always enjoyed good martial arts, especially when it's, you know, especially on good sport, I should say.
Oh, indeed. Like some of the stuff, like I mean, obviously, most people will tell you, ooh, like in Marvel, when it comes to martial arts, it's mainly to use as self defense or is like a way to help you stay healthy and fit in some ways.
No, absolutely. Definitely one of the things too, and he definitely used his amazing martial arts ability to create some incredible movies.
Oh man, like yeah, no, I mean obviously, like his some most of his most movies that people remember him in the '80s were like around the time of like the Arnold Schwarzeneggers and Sylvester Stallone. But I gotta say, he really held his own when it came to his movies.
Well, he really, I mean, he got it in the late '60s, and that he got in movies, but he also really hit his stride throughout the '70s, and like you said, he went through two, well, really 3 decades if you think about it, considering how he was in the '90s. But we'll get to that. But look at such these classic films, my twin, such as The Way of the Dragon, The Student Teachers, the Yellow Faced Tiger, Breaker Breaker, Good Guys Wear Black, A Force of One, The Octagon, Eye for an Eye, Silent Rage. I mean, we could just keep going with this. I mean, he has a lot of great classic movies.
Oh no, he has. He has done some amazing feats, and I hope to get into conversation of some of them because there are like two in my mind right now that I remember or that I've really enjoyed, and I think that is definitely one of my favorites.
We watched one before we recorded.
Yes, yes.
Let's talk about that a little bit. Hit my twin, and that was The Hitman we watched.
Oh yes, that's on to buy along with other Chuck Norris films. If you want to see that, and go on to buy and check it out for yourself. Oh, that was such an interesting story with that. It's basically like for those of you who don't know what that film is he played a cop who was presumed dead and goes deep undercover to stop these criminal organizations and his ex partner who turned out to be dirty.
Yeah, absolutely. And another one, which I'm hoping we get to see here soon, because, but actually, before I get to my movie, the movie we were talking about, The Hitman, that movie's been 35 years old.
Dang man, that's insane.
And it
Mm.
still holds up. I enjoy it. I enjoyed the movie. I was like, oh, this is great. Of course, the martial arts, of course, is awesome. And then just the story behind it is incredible. And it's so simple, too.
Oh yes, very much a very simple story. But I think one of the things I kind of liked about it was how Chuck Norris, and spoilers if anyone hasn't seen it, but what I liked about the Hitman was his character that he played. He seems like a really nice guy, but after his betrayal, he gets like these paranoid flashbacks of the night he got shot and makes him less trustworthy of people and makes him nervous about stuff.
No, absolutely. And definitely Betrayal of that. Another movie I would actually hopefully get to see here soon that involves Chuck Norris is called An Eye for an Eye.
Oh yes, that was probably like one of his earlier films.
Indeed, it was. It was 1981, 45 years ago. But one of the reasons why I would like to, I think I have seen it before. It's been a long time though, but it involves another one of my favorite actors in the movie, Christopher Lee. And I was like, oh, come on! I mean, it's Christopher Lee. I mean, how can you not have a good? You got to have a good villain. You got to think of Christopher Lee, right?
Yes, I mean Count Dooku, Man with the Golden Gun.
Let's not forget Dracula. We can't forget about Dracula. He was amazing as that. Of course, there's so many other great, uh, movies that he did. Which honestly, another one we probably could watch because 40 years ago, my twin, he came out with Delta Force.
Oh yes, yes. If
18,
you think of you think of Chuck Norris, you think of Delta Force.
oh, it's an incredible movie, one of the best ever. And it was actually the last movie of Lee Marvin, who tragically passed away not long after that movie's released. But yes, indeed, one of the best movies that Chuck's ever made, in my humble opinion.
Yes, I think for me personally, I think, and nobody really talks about this one as much, but I actually think it's one of my favorite Chuck Norris movies of all time, and that is The Hero and the Terror.
Ah, yes, that came out in 1988. He thought he got rid of let's just say, the giant monster that was hurting women. And all of a sudden, he realizes that he survived and he's still alive and he's hunting people down.
Yes, well, one of the things I liked about that film was how well the details of the character. It was like Chuck Norris plays obviously he plays an officer who everyone brags up as hero. Oh, hence the title Hero and the Terror. Or that he was a man that was able to take down criminal by himself, even though he barely got out of it alive. And he admits that he has nightmares about it because he feels like he doesn't want people thinking that he was something that he wasn't. And I actually thought it was kind of inspirational as he was able to eventually overcome his fear and take down the terror once and for all, which in very brutal fashion.
Of course, as a Chuck Norris movie, it's got to be awesome, right?
Yes.
But one of the things I will say I liked about the Hero and the Terror, and I never knew this, it was actually based off a novel.
Really?
Yeah, it was a novel, same name by Michael Blodgett. I hope I said his name right. Sadly, he's no longer with us. God rest his soul. He actually was. It was the novel came out in 1982. So 6 years later, it became a movie. So that's pretty sweet.
Yes, that's amazing. And I think it was, like I said, I think out of all the Chuck Norris films, no disrespect to like Delta Force and like all some of the other films which I enjoyed, I think that it had like some of the best storytelling in all of his movies.
No, it definitely was a good one. But I will say, me personally, I like Delta Force. And another one that I thought was really good and kind of underrated because people just look at it as like a simple B movie thing, but I thought it was actually really well done and put together. I got to go with Code of Silence.
Oh yes, I remember watching that a few times. I enjoyed that very much. Definitely, besides Hearing the Terror, it's definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's really good and it was so well done, and and it's just like it's a simple story, which I don't know why people. I don't know. I feel like people always use that as like a negative. Like you got to have like all these fancy like storylines and gimmicks in it, where it's like this story is pretty straight to the point. Here's Chuck Norris, playing a cop that didn't agree with what one of his fellow police officers did and chose to fight crime that way. He had to save a poor woman from being executed.
I actually, and now that I think about it much, when it came to Code of Silence, which again I still enjoy watching that film. I'll watch it anytime I can. Was I feel like at the end of the film, it kind of foreshadowed something in Chuck Norris's career.
What's that?
His cameo in the Expendables 2.
Oh, that was a good one. That honestly, I remember when we went because we were a big fan of the Expendable series. I personally prefer the first two over the next two, but that's just me. But the second one, in my humble opinion, it was the best. Just the cast they had and just the martial arts, the fighting was just everything was epic. And of course, Chad, when Expendables 2 came out, we saw it in theaters. And
Yeah.
honestly, one of the highlights of my life is watching movies was when they did the scene, well, spoiler alert for anybody that hadn't seen it, but Sylvester Stallone and his crew, are in trouble and are being attacked by mercenaries, and all of a sudden they all just die horrible deaths and just getting exploded and just shot up like crazy. And all of a sudden you hear the whir, 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 and all of a sudden you see Chuck Norris walking up and everyone just starts laughing in the theaters.
Oh my god, that was great. But like I said, it was like foreshadowing because like Code of Silence did something similar to that. The only difference is you saw Chuck Norris shooting all the bad guys. In this, it was like he was so fast you couldn't see all the death and destruction he caused.
Yeah, either way, it was awesome. I
Oh,
I
yeah.
just love the fact that everybody in the whole audience that watched it with us were laughing because they got the joke. It wasn't meant to be serious, but it just made sense, and everyone just laughed. That was awesome.
I know that was probably like one of the best parts of the whole Expendables franchise.
Like, well, the ending was pretty sweet too. But I will say, I also like they played into the Chuck Norris humor, where they're like, "I heard a rumor that you had been bitten by a king cobra." Yeah, I
Yes,
was.
I remember that.
And
And
after
after
5 days,
5 days, he's of agonizing pain. The cobra died.
that was awesome. Yeah, I just love the fact that Chuck actually just like played along with it. Like he just was like, ah, this is good, harmless fun. You know what I mean? He didn't really take it too seriously. But man, there's some funny stuff right here. And actually, speaking of the quote unquote facts, my twin, I found some Chuck Norris facts along with me. Would you like to hear some?
Oh man, it's gonna be hard to tell between fact and fiction.
Yes, indeed. Here's a Chuck Norris fact for you, my twin. They tried to put Chuck Norris's face on Mount Rushmore, but the granite wasn't tough enough for his beard.
Oh, that's definitely true.
Yeah, that's totally fact right there. Here's another one for you. There is no such thing as evolution. Only a list of species Chuck Norris has allowed to live.
Oh man.
That, oh, some good stuff. And here's some more. Here's some more facts on here. I just want to see if I can find some more. But oh my goodness, I personally liked. Chuck Norris. He doesn't when he does push-ups. He doesn't push up. He pushes the earth down.
Oh man.
Oh, there's some good ones, and oh my goodness, and even like you said, we kind of mentioned it earlier when Chuck passed away. We all knew it was coming. People were going to start putting up some pretty cool uh, Chuck Norris facts jokes up on the internet.
Yeah, I think my favorite had to be he has no chin. It's just a third fist under his beard.
I like the one where he says Chuck Norris doesn't turn butter. He roundhouse kicks the cow, and then butter just comes out.
Oh man. Oh wait, what about that one where about him and the tiger?
Oh, jeez. Yeah, he goes. It was actually a joke Chuck Norris made himself. He goes, there was a picture of him with a tiger, and he goes to pet him, and all of a sudden you hear this like a growl going on, and the guy was like, slowly back up, just step back, and just walk away, and so the tiger did.
Oh,
Oh, that's some good, just classic stuff, my twin, and I
yeah,
must say,
good times,
there's
good times.
so much good stuff on here. Oh, here's this is a good one. Death once had a near Chuck Norris experience.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, these are classics, man. I love it. Oh man, but
Oh man.
speaking of memes that have become super famous, another movie that you and I quite enjoyed, my twin, was Lone Wolf McQuay.
Oh yes, it's that I remember that film. He plays like a Texas Ranger, which is kind of convenient, which we're probably going to get to eventually.
Oh, we're definitely going to get to it eventually, I promise you. But that movie was quite good, I must say. And excuse me, I think another one that I really enjoyed, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it also spawned another meme that somehow Chuck Norris he couldn't help but can't escape from it, and that was the Chuck Norris sniper videos that we'd see on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, where like it was like random people were watching videos. He just snipes them.
just random people, random things happening, and Chuck Norris is just sniping people left and right. Oh my goodness, it was quite hilarious. There was a couple of them, I think, weren't there?
Yeah, no, there was a bunch. I think one of my favorite ones had to be where this, and I feel bad for the woman here, but like she was sitting on a horse, and she was trying to stand up while holding a snack and coffee. And next thing you know, Chuck Norris shoots her down. She falls right off the horse.
Yeah. That was pretty funny, and I also liked the one like the guy was on like water skiing.
Oh, and Chuck
Yeah,
snipes.
he like gets quote unquote sniped, and he just face plants in the water. I want to know how on earth they were able to figure that one out and put that video all together. I wonder who started that.
I think one of the funniest ones, as I remember, was there was this guy with a towel wrapped around him, and he was trying to help his friend get on top of a roof of a shed. And once he sniped him, his towel fell off, and apparently the guy who was on to fell off as well because he couldn't hold on to him because I think he had no trunks or stuff on there.
Oh geez. Oh yeah, and I remember that one because Chuck Norris is like looking at it through the scope and he's just shaking his head like in disappointment. Oh
Oh man!
hey Chapman, I found another Chuck Norris fact for you.
All right.
If you spell Chuck Norris in Scrabble, you win.
Great. That has to be a 100% fact.
It has to be, yes, 1000% has to be. In fact, if I'm not mistaken here, Chuck Norris helped co-write a book about that.
Yeah, I think it was called The 101 Facts of Chuck Norris. I don't know if that book's still around. It might be.
Oh, without a question. Oh, geez. Yeah. Yeah. Here, according to the chucknorrisfacts.net.
Oh, jeez.
Yes, there is a whole there's a dedicated website to this.
Oh, no.
Which let's listen to this, my twin. Chuck Norris caught the coronavirus and keeps it chained in his backyard.
Good grief.
Here's another fun fact. Chuck Norris threw a grenade and killed 50 people. Then it exploded.
Wait, wasn't there? There was also, I think, a fact about Chuck Norris is that he runs so far he knocks you out yesterday.
Oh yeah, he punches you so hard it knocks you back to out of yesterday.
Good God.
Hey, Chad, did you know Chuck Norris can hear sign language?
I did not know that. Oh man.
Hey Chad, did
Yes.
you know Chuck Norris's dog is trained to pick up his own poop because Chuck Norris will not take crap from anyone?
Oh geez.
And this is considered number one fact out of a top 100. When Chuck Norris arrived at the gates of heaven, St. Peter showed his ID to Chuck Norris.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
Oh, good Lord. Dude, and honestly, and again, I always thought Chuck just took it in stride and just thought it was hilarious. And man, some of the stuff people come up with, I wonder how on earth they come up with some of this stuff. Oh man. There's some good stuff. And actually, speaking of stuff that lasts, till to the end of time so much, one of the things that we use that was actually created or not created by, but helped sponsor Chuck Norris was the Total Gym. Do you remember the Total Gym?
Oh yes, it was like one of the most popular exercise equipments around. And I believe it still is to this day.
It is, and we have one at our house, and honestly, I use it a lot, and honestly, it helps me out in a lot of ways. So, yeah, it definitely does help you out and keep you in shape. That's for sure. And Chuck Norris was still using that even into his 80s before he passed away.
Oh man, yeah, no, he was pretty good. Like, I think the first time I think anyone saw him use the Total Gym was right before he had to go help out his friends and deal with the Claw and Super Ninja.
Yeah. Oh yes, well, arguably one of the best things ever. I know this might be considered a guilty pleasure stuff for us to watch, but Chuck Norris Karate Commandos. Gosh, that was such a good show.
Yeah, obviously you and I weren't born when that first came out, but I never knew this. But it was only like it was like a literal mini series because it only had 5 episodes.
Yeah, but it was worth it. It was totally worth it. I mean, that came out 40 years too, actually.
Holy moly!
You know, of course, it's obviously a little ridiculous, and it was meant to be that way. It was a cartoon, but one of the things that I liked about it, which you don't really see much of that anymore, was the before and after videos with Chuck telling you, like, teaching you like morals and like how to handle things in certain situations.
Like an alligator parachuting in the air. Just
Yes, yes, that actually happened, folks. But but yeah, no, it's just stuff like that was so much fun. And again, like you said, it was only 5 episodes, but man, was it entertaining.
it was a lot of fun.
Hey, Chad, why don't you get closer though? You're getting away from your mic.
Oh, sorry, I was
No,
trying to. But no, I didn't want to laugh too hard.
indeed. No, indeed. But and actually, talking about a little bit of it, there was a spin-off show that didn't last too long, but I thought it was an underrated show, Sons of Thunder. Remember that show?
Hold on, Sons of Thunder. Oh yeah, that was like the spinoff from Walker Texas Ranger.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. I actually heard, like, even though it lasted a season, I heard that the ratings did pretty well. Now, obviously, Chuck Norris didn't star in it. It was like a guy who played Trent and Carlos, who both debuted on Walker Texas Ranger, made their own show, had their own spinoff, and which was pretty popular.
Yeah, and honestly, Chuck Norris also made plenty of cameos. My personal favorite cameo that he ever did was on a comedy movie called Dodgeball.
Oh yeah, like he had like the thumbs up. It's like, thanks, Chuck Norris.
Thank you, Chuck Norris.
Oh yeah,
That movie was pretty funny, but
I
also,
think my favorite Chuck Norris appearance was actually on a commercial. Do you remember that Mountain Dew commercial where they were making fun of Chuck Norris and all of a sudden he just appears everywhere and just takes the Mountain Dew?
I do remember that. It's still on YouTube.
Oh, sweet.
Oh man, that was hilarious. Every goes he went, he just goes and cracks his knuckles, ready to fight, and the kids are all just running away.
Yeah, because it was clear they were no match for Chuck Norris.
Oh man, that's some entertaining stuff right there for sure. But we kind of talked about it a little bit too earlier. The Lone Wolf McQuade, which he played as a Texas Ranger, which I guess is going to lead us, my twin, to one of our one of the biggest reasons that we love Chuck Norris, and actually, it's what introduced us to Chuck Norris, and that was good old fashioned Walker Texas Ranger.
Oh yes, that's one of the best shows of all time. It lasted 8 years.
Yeah,
First debut, and
it started the same. Yeah, it started the same year as the Power Rangers did, 1993.
oh man, 1993, the era of big time franchises.
Indeed, and of course, me personally, the show was going to be good when one of its first episodes was when he was beating up a guy at his house, and he's like, "Hey, Ranger, you made a mistake. You didn't read us our right. Sure, you have the right." What? Just punts him in the face to remain silent.
Knocks them out.
Just
Oh,
absolutely punts him in the face. It was so awesome.
oh my god, like that's one way to tell a criminal you have the right to remain silent.
Indeed. Indeed. That was so awesome. But you just knew right then and there that that this show was going to be awesome. And it was. It made it all the way to 2001.
Yes, it was definitely one of the things I thought that Chuck Norris did with Walker Texas Ranger was it had like some very grounded, very down to earth like storylines, like like law officers looking out for their like gangs and violence and stuff in schools, to even like the absurd, like an evil government conspiracy of hiding aliens and all that stuff. And holy moly, did they just
It was definitely one of those ones that made us a big fan of martial arts as well. Like Walker, Texas Ranger, and we got to learn a lot of things that I thought was really cool. Like we're big into Native American culture, which that was featured a good bit in the show throughout its run.
oh yes, it was very cool. Well, I believe like one of the main characters from that was White Eagle, I believe.
I'm trying to think of the name off the top of my head. I can't quite remember, but yeah,
But
no,
no, but that show was so good, man. Like I enjoyed it so much. Like I would love to rewatch some of it over and over again, man. It was amazing. I think one of my favorite episodes had to be like there was these like Russian like military guys trying to make a super soldier, and not only does Chuck Norris try to fight him, the soldier gets set on fire, beaten up by Chuck Norris, kicks him straight through a window, and he falls straight into a big pile of flammable explosive barrels.
yeah.
If that's not Chuck Norris stopping you, that's I don't know what is.
Oh man, they had a lot of cool moments like that throughout the show. That's what made it so good. One of my personal favorites was when they were helping out. He was helping out an agent trying to help her friend, and this drug lord was trying to escape in his car, and Chuck Norris comes flying in with a drop kick and just drops him right through the windshield. That was one of the most epic things ever. Oh, dude, to this day, I still get a kick out of it when I see it because I'm like, that's just pure awesomeness. I mean, let's be real.
Oh man, good thing he was wearing like dark jeans, or else that probably would have hurt him pretty bad.
Yeah, man, that was so awesome. It just really, the martial arts was heavily featured throughout the show, and also its moralistic style. Like they were trying to do things to like help the community and like try to strengthen each other. And sadly, a lot of them are no longer with us either. Like Clarence Gilliard, who played Trevette, he passed away. Hey, God rest his soul. It's a shame he's no longer with us.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but like he played C.D. Parker. I had a
Oh,
lot of fun. He was awesome with that.
I love that character, CD. I love his character. He was awesome. And his real name is Noble Willingham, which, God rest his soul, he's no longer with us as well. And
No, they did a tribute episode to him when C. Parker passed away. Like his character, they had him like he had like a supposed heart attack, which if you haven't seen the series, you'll find out more about it later on. But they did like a whole tribute to them and all that. That was such an amazing feel. And I actually didn't remember this, but that Noble guy was actually the second person to play CD because I think they had somebody else play before him on the pilot.
yes, I believe so. I think his name was Gaillard Sartan. I hope I said that right. I apologize if I butchered that.
Well, what I liked about him was like I remember with C. Parker because obviously it's like one little bullet wound in your leg, and doctors go all to pieces. And Walker goes, "It was your knee that went to pieces, remember? Well, look at this medical retirement. Look what it's done to me. I must have gained like 5 or 10 pounds." And Walker's like, "More like 100. What?" I said, "I was wondering what you were doing." Oh, man.
Yeah, Walker's uncle. Raymond Firewalker, played by, the late Floyd Westerman. Yes, God rest his soul. That was a cool character. He was part of the early years of Walker. I love that character.
Well, yeah, because it was like he was playing like the uncle to Chuck Norris's character Walker. It was like his parents were killed old in a scuffle.
Yes, because they were, for those of you that don't know, it was a mixed race couple. A Native American man and a white woman were Chuck Norris's, or excuse Walker's parents. So, and that helped him build a strong sense of justice, which he delivered on a weekly basis.
Yeah, I know. Like one of the things I will say that I liked a lot about Walker Texas Ranger, it was like he had so many other people guest star on that show, like people you wouldn't suspect. He had like Hulk Hogan, God rest his soul. They had like Sting play a character in there. You even get to see the Scorpion Death Drop in the fight scene.
I'm not gonna lie, I totally marked out when that happened.
Like they had like so many awesome people in there, and it was such a good show. Like that was probably like one of my favorite moments there. Like even Michael Ironside made appearances on there. Like he played the chairman, which was like a 3 to 4 part like story arc.
That was a fun one to watch, I will admit. Another with Michael Ironside. I thought he's a tremendous actor, and he was also involved in another one of my favorite video games franchises, Command and Conquer.
Oh yes,
He was also
he was also in Splinter Cell.
That's right, he was. But well, we can talk about that another time. But back to Chuck Norris, I will say, as the show went on, too, one of the things I liked about the show too is that as years went on, they were able to add new characters, but they were fun to watch even still. Like, I wonder whatever happened to them. There was a Nia Peoples. I hope I said that name right. She played Sydney, which that was a cool character. And Judson,
she had done some B movies on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh, I do know that, but it's a shame because I thought she showed some great martial arts ability. And I also liked Judson Mills, who played Francis Gage.
I thought that was a cool character as well.
Yes.
I think it's like the chemistry between the actors was just amazing. I think that was what made it so cool. When having worked out the way that it was, that was just amazing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I just loved that was just some of the best, stuff I ever saw. It made me love martial arts, and arguably probably one of my favorite fight scenes from the show. And you can actually still see it on YouTube. You remember when the Macho Man Randy Savage was on Walker?
Oh yeah, like they were doing. They went undercover because they discovered like there were possible underground cage fights happening in the prison.
Oh yes, that's probably one of my favorite episodes. And honestly, one of the coolest fight scenes ever was between Chuck Norris and Frank Shamrock, who played the Hammer in that episode. And man, was that a cool looking fight!
No, that was incredible. I think they both made a really good job with that. Yeah, they did. It was such a cool job, and they did awesome moments in that. I have so many memories of Walker, Texas Ranger that I thought were pretty cool. But I think one of my favorites had to be the wedding episode between Walker and Alex Cahill. Oh, where like because like they had like they were dealing with like, getting stuff ready for the wedding, but then they also had to deal with these like assassins who had these ice daggers.
Oh yeah,
I think my favorite.
I
I think,
personally like the Gage and the Trevette had the tux in their vehicle.
oh yeah, I was actually going to get to that. It was like they were trying to solve a bank robbery, and one of the crooks had a grenade, and it blew up Trevette's car with the tux in it.
Get down on the ground. You have no idea how much trouble we're in.
Oh man.
Dude, that was Chuck Norris and just Walker Texas Ranger was definitely a big reason why we love martial arts. Huh, my twin?
Oh, definitely. And I think one of the things I liked about that show too is like a lot of things in the '90s had one of the best theme songs you'll ever hear.
Oh my gosh, let's talk about that. That to me is one of those epic, like to me, Walker Texas Rangers theme song was probably one of the best ever. And it actually, believe it or not, it actually did not start out that way. That was not the original theme song, believe it or not.
Yeah, I think they had like maybe two or three other ones with it.
Yeah, but then eventually they settled on Eyes of the Ranger, which, like we mentioned before, was an incredible, incredible theme song. And honestly, probably one of the most recognizable themes in television history, in my humble opinion.
Oh man, no, that was amazing. Like you got yourself a good show if you're going to turn into a segment on a late night talk show.
Oh, yes. I was actually going to bring that up. But personally, one of my personal favorites things that they did was when they did the Conan O'Brien would had his late night show. He had
Yes.
this thing called the Walker Texas Ranger lever.
And he would show clips of Walker Texas Ranger on his show.
Oh my goodness, that was so funny.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Just and the craziest thing about it was that they were just random clips. So it's just they only played so long, and then they just stop, and sometimes they stop at the funniest or some of the weirdest times.
Yeah, I thought that was one of the weirdest things. I think my favorite had to be the end of it when Chuck Norris appeared, and he showed a clip of him beating up Conan O'Brien.
That was awesome.
Oh man,
I gotta say, dude, like just him doing that, just again, it just shows he plays to the humor. Like he a lot of his roles, and I would dare say the majority of his roles are this serious tough guy, but he found humor in it and he just played along with it, and that's what made it even funnier. Like if you actually watched, you brought it up when he showed up and appeared, and then they showed him beating up Conan. Like they make it look like, or they try to make it look like a serious fight scene because we all know, Conan O'Brien's really no match for Chuck Norris. But the fact that they played it straight just made it even funnier, and I just get a kick out of it every time I see it.
yeah, no, like it was definitely a lot of fun. Like I think that's just what made Chuck Norris so cool because it's like he just like went along with it and everyone enjoyed it. He had so much fun and you could see it. Like I never saw the movie, but like he did a comedy called Top Dog, where he
Oh Jesus!
where he had a partner who was a dog.
I do remember that. That has been a while. Another one I thought was kind of interesting, and to be honest with you, I wasn't expecting it. But remember Forest Warrior?
Oh yeah, like he was playing like a character who could turn into animals.
That's right. Chuck Norris is so tough he can turn into a bear.
I think my favorite part of that had to be like, I think he was playing like an eagle or something, and the eagle comes flying down at one of the lumberjacks, and he comes on Pierce and kicks him right in the face.
Just absolutely hammers him and just drops him like a sack of bricks.
Oh, good grief!
Yeah,
Oh God!
but again, I think he just played to the absurdity of it
Yes,
all, but
it
it
was
works out so
amazing.
well. And actually, you kind of mentioned her, and she's still alive. Sherry, she also joined Chuck Norris, and I thought it was kind of an underrated movie. I didn't expect for it to turn out as well as it did. It was the 1994 movie called
Oh
Hellbound.
yeah, I actually thought that was a very underrated film because like it went back into a pastime of like the medieval ages, and it talks like dealing with this evil warlord or something, and then all of a sudden you go to the present time and you see all the stuff that they had there. That was incredible.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just so much cool stuff that he did, and like I can't stress this enough. It really is a shame that he passed away.
Well, some people imply he didn't pass away; he just went on vacation.
Chuck Norris didn't die. Death, Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
um,
Oh man!
hey, Chapman, I found some more facts for you.
Oh no!
Is this Chuck Norris beat the sun in a staring contest?
Good God!
Here's another good one for you. Chuck Norris doesn't cheat death. He wins fair and square.
Oh man!
Yeah. Oh man. Dude, that's just classic stuff. And I mean, again, it's just a shame that he passed away. And actually I didn't know this either too, my friend, but he actually had a couple video games. I didn't know this.
Really? I
Yeah,
didn't
man.
think he was into video games.
Yeah, 1984, he had Chuck Norris sidekicks.
Wait, was that game based off that comedy movie he did called
Indeed.
Suckets?
Yeah.
Good grief!
This is how old it is. It was up for the Atari 2600 and the Commodore 64. That's how old that thing is.
Man, I thought the only game I remember seeing him in was World of Warcraft.
I, I forgot about that commercial too. And actually, the last he was also, oh, World of Tanks. I forgot about that one. And my
His
personal,
game was World of Tanks.
yeah, my personal favorite was there's this game called Crime Boss, Rock City.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh,
Oh my goodness. Good
that
old
was so
Chuck Norris.
weird.
No, that was just pure awesomeness. And so,
Oh, you want to talk about pure awesomeness? I don't know if anybody here knows Death Battle, but his matchup against Segaton Shoot.
oh, geez, that was a good one. That was epic. Kudos to Death Battle for that one. That was probably a pain in the butt trying to collect all that to make video out of that.
It was totally worth it.
No, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And honestly, his last movie that he did, well, when he was still alive, was Agent Recon, which I haven't seen yet, so I should probably give it a
Well,
check.
because it was a B movie, sci-fi movie, I believe.
It is. It's on a streaming service, but nonetheless, I would like to see it. And the last one he did, which will be released posthumous, is Zombie Plane. It's supposed to be a comedy movie. It's coming out in 2027. Should we just go watch it just in honor of Chuck?
I'm definitely in honor of Chuck Norris.
Oh man,
Oh man.
this is fun going down memory lane with Chuck Norris, and our thoughts and prayers to Chuck Norris and his family. It's a shame that he's no longer with us, and thank you so much, Chuck, for all the cool stuff and lessons you taught us and giving us our love of martial arts.
Oh man, and man, he is definitely a true legend here when it comes to action movies. So just real quick, my twin, let me ask you, what would you say would be like? I mean, we already talked about this earlier, but just to recap, what would you say would be your top three Chuck Norris movies?
Top three Chuck Norris movies. That is a really good question, my twin. In terms of film, and honestly, this is probably interchanging because we rewatched them so many times. I, I would have to throw Way of the Dragon has to be in there. It has to be, my humble opinion. It's him and Bruce, became such good friends, and to me, brought legitimacy to a lot of martial arts movies. And to be honest with you, they set the standard for a lot of us to follow, or not a lot of us. Like we're not martial art. As much as we love martial artists, we don't really have a place to go learn martial arts. But these guys brought legitimacy, in my humble opinion. So Way of the Dragon has to be in there. I would have to say Lone Wolf McQuay was really good. And for me personally, I think it's an underrated one. I don't think it's enough love. Oh, darn it. Well, I guess I'll go 4, but I think this one has to be mentioned because it's so underrated. Code of Silence, that has to be in there. And of course, Delta Force. I mean, come on. I mean, it's probably in my humble opinion, might be his best movie.
Well, for me, I would have to say The Hero and the Terror, obviously. Code of Silence, because I agree it's definitely an underrated film. And I think the last one would have to be Hellbound, because I thought that was such a cool movie, and I think they did such a good job with that.
Yeah, and there's so many we haven't seen, or we have seen. It's just been a while since we've seen it. Like for example, Missing in Action, An Eye for an Eye, which I definitely would like to see that one because, I mean, come on, Chuck Norris against Christopher Lee. I mean, come on, that seems like a gold mine to me.
There's Silent Rage as well.
Oh, that's right, we haven't seen. And also, there's another one, The Octagon. Remember when Conan O'Brien brought that one up? I never saw that movie. That was the first time I ever heard of that movie that he did. Came out in 1980.
Oh yeah, that was such a good movie right there.
Yeah, so we have to probably rewatch that one. But
yeah,
there's just so many things that he did. But it's a shame that, again, our thoughts and prayers to his family and to everyone that's a fan of him. We love you, Chuck. God bless you, and we hope and pray that you're at peace. And thank you so much for all that you taught us.
And thank you for providing us with decades long of entertainment.
Oh, his movies will be forever awesome, in my humble opinion.
Oh, definitely.
Well,
He definitely will be missed. Thank you again for everything with all your movies, Walker, Texas Ranger. Thank you all so much, Chuck. We will miss you. You are a true legend.
Yeah, indeed. And just to say thank you, my twin, for coming on today.
Thank you very much for allowing me to come back on, my twin.
It's always good to have you here, my twin, and especially talking about something as incredible and awesome like Chuck Norris himself.
Definitely. Lee, one of the all-time greats.
No, indeed. And how about, before we leave, my twin, how about one more Chuck Norris fact?
Far away.
Chuck Norris actually died 4 years ago, but the Grim Reaper can't get up the courage to tell him.
Oh, jeez.
These never get old, huh, my twin?
Oh, no, they do not.
I just want to say thank you again, Chuck, and thoughts and prayers to your family. And thank you for all the great memories. And to all of you watching, I love you all, and God bless. Be safe, everybody.